yeah, I'm sorry. I forget that you guys didn't have me for 95, so much of, well, 105 you did. 95 was all TI work, right? So, I just slapped my data, well, I didn't slap it, I placed it in L6. And I did that because that way I can use L1, L2, and L3 in other classes and not lose it again. So you have yours in L1, I'm assuming. So in order to take a look at that, I think we've all gotten to this point now. You press second y equals. The one thing you want to make sure that you have is L2 off. I've been seeing a lot of folks getting invalid dim messages because you cleared your data out at L3 and then you're still trying to graph L3 with that second plot. So make sure plot 2 is off. And plot 1, a lot of people are getting invalid dims because if you look at where the data is being called from, it still says L1, L2, but your data is now just in L1. So you guys would have to put L1 for the data list, and then what would the frequency have to be? 1 for raw data. Now the problem with TI is if you try to type 1 right now, it comes up with a Y. This is a bug, we can't fix it. But the workaround is simply press the alpha button, and then the number 1. For some reason, when you go to the lists, I don't know why TI did this, but it makes it default to alphanumeric. So if you notice, whenever I jump into the lists, you see that the little cursor has a little A on it? You got to turn that off before you type. Otherwise, you get the letter that's above each key. Why? I don't know. Wish I had a better answer than I don't know, but I don't know. So just press alpha and then press 1.
How do you turn off plot 2?
The easiest way, check this out. The easiest way is press your Y equals button, and you see how plot 2 is highlighted?
Yes.
Put your blinker on top of it and press enter, and it'll unhighlight it. That's by and large the easiest way. Fair?
Yes.
Good question, thank you, Patty. Now, I gotta change mine because my data is in L6.
Yeah. Wouldn't you just, could you just...
Okay, so there I am. If I go zoom 9, there's my data. There's my data. It doesn't look like a bell curve. Not bell-shaped at all. As a matter of fact, it's like a camel hump on the other side there, like Dimetrodon or Stegosaurus or something like that. But this is not the window that I asked you to draw in your quiz. In the quiz, I want you to go from 0 to 99, 100 to 199, 200 to 299. So the window to get that, if you press the window button, window, and I apologize, this is where I really apologize because my 95 students, this is all we did in 95 was mess with windows. A lot of 95 students either never touched the TI or just used the zoom menus. So if you go to the window, what's the matter?
The data, right? There's more data than is going to be captured in the histogram?
No, it's all there. Watch. I'll show you. I'll show you momentarily. Hang tight. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Your X-min, make it 0, because that's the smallest value on the quiz list. The X-max, this won't make any sense at this very moment, but make it 2100. I'll explain why in a minute. It seems like it should be 2000, right? Perfectly logical. I'll explain why you have to add an extra 100 on in a minute. It'll make sense in a minute. And as far as the scale, you want this to be 100. You want this to be 100 because you want to have each bar 100 wide. 0 to 99, 100 to 199, 200 to 200. Those are 100 wide each. Just decent so far. Now just press the graph button. Don't press zoom 9 again. If you press zoom 9, you're going to erase all this window work you just did. So if you press graph, there it is. Now, because I'm me, I like to screw with the window even more because I don't like having this much dead space up here. This is my opinion. You don't have to do this at all if you don't want to. I'll show you why momentarily. But I'm going to go back into window, and it says Y max is about 32. I'm going to cut that down to about 20. And all that's going to do is it's going to pull the bars higher. I could probably even cut it down even more than that if you wanted to.
Where's that?
It's still in that window, Pat. Still in that window screen.
Yeah.
But it's down Y min and Y max. You can make window, for example, -3. It's 0.3. -3, and you can make Y max say 15.
Right.
And then when you press graph, you fill the window better. It cuts all that dead space out.
But I got a question for you.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
Where it says number of friends.
Yes.
Your last block.
Hold that thought. This is the answer to your question. I'm getting the answer to your question. I'm getting. So now to fill in, to transpose this onto your histogram, it would be helpful to know how tall each of these bars is. Press the trace button. And now you can scooch right and left, and it'll tell you. Now hold that thought about what the last bar is. Your first bar, I know on your quiz it says 0 to 99. And this appears to say 0 to 100, doesn't it? But it doesn't. It says 0 to strictly less than 100. That's 99 if you're counting with whole numbers. So this bar, which has 7 things in it, is 0 to 99. So your first bar has to go 7 high.
Right.
Your next bar goes 10 high,
Right.
and so forth and so on and so forth and so on. Pat's question is, you can do this all the way along, yeah? Until you get out to that one, which seems a little counterintuitive. But you gotta remember, that bar only has one thing. It's the number 2000. 2000 less than 2100. You have one data point in that list that's a 2000. Just one. And that's the bar it exists in. Because the bar right before it, right here, Pat, is less than 2000, bigger than 1900. So anything 1900 and blah is going to be in that bar. The 2000 is in the next bar, and this explains why you have to make the X max a little bit bigger, 2100, because the bar extends to the right of it. Why? Because it's how TI set their TIs up. I don't know, it's just that's how you have to do it with the histogram on TI.
So you just add that one to the last bar?
You put, yeah, because otherwise you lose the last bar. So essentially, you want the bars to be centered on the left, where they actually are centered on the left endpoint, but they're not, they're centered in the middle. So this is what you have to cheat the TI a little bit.
So the last bar is actually 3 data points.
It's actually 1. No, this bar right here is 2, yeah? Find them, go find them right now.
Right,
Look at your quiz.
I got it.
You got it, it's the 19...
So it's 2000, which
It's
is...
the well, hang on, it's the 1946 and the 1938. That's those two. If I'm looking at the raw data now, Pat. It's the 1946 and the 1938. It's those two.
Yes.
The next bar is the 2000s.
Right.
That's it.
So where do you put that on the histogram?
Where do you put that on the histogram?
That is the last bar. This is the last bar.
That's right, but it's not on here.
Yeah, there's only one spot.
19 to 2000. What? I'm
It
not following.
doesn't go over here.
There's 21 spots on this, but there's only 20 spots on this.
Because on there it goes from 2000 to 21, or
There's-
to...
Hang on a second. I'm confused. Vivica, go.
So the last bar on here is
Yeah.
1900 to 2000 when it should be 19 to 1999, and then there should be an extra bar that goes from 2000.
I see the problem. It's how I labeled the bar on the quiz. I'm sorry, Pat. I finally understand your question. I see the confusion. I'm sorry. I finally get it. I'm sorry. I was answering the wrong. Just make your last bar 3 high, which is what you were saying in the first place. Yes. On your quiz. I'm sorry. Make your. I wasn't planning on you guys doing this to get the counts. That's my problem. I wasn't planning on you doing this. I was planning on you just going up and counting the numbers in the block.
Right.
So that this whole problem wouldn't have existed. But you went
So just
right
make
to
your last
this.
bar, and then it's...
Well, I wasn't planning on it. I gave you a bunch of data. I figured you just count. I see. So, just put all 3 of these in the last bar. There we go. Thank you, Pat. Oh, my God. Look at idiot. Yes. Well, and again, it's a piece of education. You all went the wrong. So just make the last bar 3 high. Oh. No, Pat. What's going on? What don't you get? I think I can answer it now that I know what the question is.